welcome back to another episode for our new series, Black Girl Healing Session, which is on our Unapologetically Shaun Podcast that you can listen to on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, and I always upload a episode on my YouTube channel, Life with Shaun. All right, so this episode this week is strictly about holding ourselves accountable for our actions. Okay, this is going to be a powerful message, and I hope that this really resonates with you in your spirit, sizzle in your spirit like Country Wayne says, because many of us as women, not just black women, but as women, it's hard for us to sometimes hold ourselves accountable for our actions. And you know, today I'm going to go back into the situation with the baby and Danny Lay, and I'm going to just give more examples of, you know, different things related to holding ourselves accountable. But in that situation with Danny Lay, we're going to just speak about her right now. Now, in my previous bonus episode on my Unapologetically Shaun podcast, I talked about resonating, you know, having sympathy for her as a woman and putting yourself in her shoes. Yes, I still feel that way, but this is where I'm going to hold her accountable in this situation, because a lot of women, when it comes to men, they don't really hold themselves accountable for putting themselves in certain toxic situations. So we're going to hold her accountable right now. Where she went wrong in this situation is going back to a man that you were dating, that went right back to his baby mother, disrespected you then, and then you go back to him thinking it's going to be better. Thinking you are better, you're going to change him. A lot of women have a problem with thinking they can change a man. You can't never change somebody that don't want to be changed. So if you don't take nothing else from this, know that you cannot change a soul on this planet if they don't want to be changed. So that was her problem there. She thinking she can change this man. You can't change him. So after her having a baby by him, and then he leaves you when he finds out you're pregnant, she still went back to him. So my thing is, she needs to hold herself accountable for putting herself back into that toxic situation. And a lot of us do that. We'll go back thinking we just want a family. We just want to, you know, make sure our kids have both parents. I get that. I understand that. But if you know the situation is toxic, putting your child in that situation is not going to be beneficial to that child, if you think about it. Your child most likely will be better off with just a happy, healed parent. If you're a happy mother, then you'll raise happy children. So that's something you have to realize. And then in that situation, I hope that that's what she learns, is she's better off without him. If a person tell you who they are, please believe them the first time, because they showing you that they ain't no good. They're not gonna change. Like I said before, they're not gonna change. So stop expecting this fairy tale that's in your head, thinking that this person's gonna change for you, because they're not. So that's what I want her to learn from that situation. Another thing that we all need to hold ourselves accountable for is, I go back to another relationship thing. Most of the time, we as women, and me, I've done this before, is, how do I want to put this? As a woman, sometimes we think we're better than the next girl. Or if a guy leaves us and then we see the girl that he left us for, we were like, oh, well, I look better than her. I don't know what he's seeing her. Sometimes it has nothing to do with looks, you know. Sometimes it's something that we need to heal from that we're projecting. We might not know how to apologize sometimes. That's me. I still have a hard time with apologizing or even expressing our feelings when something is happening and then we just blow up, when we have a fight or something and we expect the person to read our minds. It don't work like that. So sometimes we have to be like, really think about, okay, well, what is it, something that I need to change about myself, not just for this man, but in general to be better for myself. We sometimes need to hold ourselves accountable for not showing up as our best self. A lot of us don't even notice some of our toxic traits. And toxic traits is going to have its own episode because we all have some type of toxic trait that we sometimes subconsciously don't even recognize that we have. For example, like, some of us may be kind of self-centered. You think about yourself, you could be a bit selfish about your feelings and you don't think about the other person's feelings. That's a toxic trait. You could be, I don't know, what else can I say? There's so many toxic traits that a lot of people, have that they have to hold themselves accountable and start healing from. But we're not going to go into toxic traits at this moment because I want to do that a whole episode on just toxic traits because we all have them. But you definitely have to hold yourself accountable for those traits that is very toxic and that can make people not want to be around you. We have to hold ourselves accountable for like really negatively downing ourselves or negatively bringing negative energy into, other people's lives. Because if you're a negative person, don't nobody want to be around you. They don't want to hear what you got to say. They don't want to help you because they tired of hearing your negative talking. Hold yourself accountable for bringing that negative energy, and you need to heal from that. You have to, whatever mistakes you make, take accountability for it. If you caused any issues, take accountability for it. Because trust, if you sit down and you realize, hey, I was wrong. It's nothing wrong with saying you were wrong. Everybody's wrong at some point of their life. You're wrong. But it's better for you to admit that you're wrong, because how can you grow if you don't learn how to say, hey, I was wrong in this situation. What can I do to make it right? How can you change if you don't do that? So what I want you to do is just start learning how to take responsibility for your actions. And then take whatever consequences that comes with those mistakes that you made. There's nothing wrong with that. So we all have to learn how to have personal accountability. And we can grow, we can heal from that once we learn how to do that. So, as I said before in our very first episode, we should all start a journal. And each topic that we go over every week, we write about that topic in the journal so that we can all heal together. So when you have your journal, you say, how do I learn how to take accountability for my actions? First step, admitting that you were wrong, if you're wrong in a situation. And sometimes you ain't got nothing nice to say, just don't say it, Like some stuff just don't even need to be brought up or mentioned, So, another thing, back to relationships. When I talked about the dating late thing, and I said you need to really evaluate what part that you played in a relationship. So if you're in a situationship, which many people have been in situationships and they don't know it or they do know it, you need to take accountability for giving yourself too much of yourself to a person that will not commit to you. You know they're not going to commit to you, especially women that are with men that are married, men that are in relationships. You have to take accountability for that. You were wrong. You have to realize you're hurting another woman. He don't care nothing about you if you're second to anything. Nobody should be second to nobody. You know? If you're going to be in a relationship, you need to be the only one. So, with those type of women, you have to take accountability for hurting someone else's heart. Hurting someone else's feelings. It has anything to do with breaking up a home, because obviously that home was never a home if the person is stepping out on another person or they breaking somebody else's heart. But the role that you play doesn't help, because if they can do this to one person, they can do it to you. If they can go and tell this woman they love them, they can tell you the same thing. Love is an action. It's not something you just say you have to do. So I don't want to hear like, oh, well, he's telling me this and he's telling her that. Then take accountability and say, hey, I'm not going to be in this. I'm wrong for hurting this other woman, and I'm going to remove myself from the situation. Simple as that. I don't really want to make this one about, relationships, but most of the time we all have a problem with relationships and taking accountability when in our part in some of the relationships. So I just thought that I would talk about it. But personally, you really take accountability for the things that you have done, for the wrongs that you have made, and rectify those wrongs. That's all you have to do. And that is a step in the right direction of being a better person, a better woman. So yeah, we might have, as Black women, we might have our issues that we all can improve on. But one thing I'm going to talk about also is the stigma of the quote unquote angry Black woman. That's going to be a whole episode. So yeah, look forward to that, because that's something that really grinds my gears. That us Black women are labeled as, when other women, when they are passionate and all of these things and they speak their minds, they're not considered angry, but we are. So we're definitely going to dive deep into that. So look forward to that episode. I don't know when it's going to be up, so I can't tell you, but that one's going to be powerful too. But we just have to take accountability for, our actions and roles that we play in certain situations, and accept the responsibility of our wrongs. That's all. This is just a healing session, so I hope that you all have got some insight on some things that maybe you need to work on. I hope this is thought-provoking conversation that, hey, yeah, I need to learn how to take accountability myself because I don't know how to. That's the first step. Admitting that you don't know how to do something, and then you change it. All right, let's wrap it up. I hope you have a great week. I hope you enjoyed this new episode of Black Girl Healing Session, and also, upload a episode of Unapologetically Shaun as well. So you have 2 things to listen to every Wednesday. So I guess Wednesdays are my new days. If I decided to do anything else, I'll let you know. But I really hope that you all are able to heal and learn from each and every topic that we discuss each week. All right. Thank you for listening. And just know that you can always listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, And I always upload a episode on YouTube on my channel, Life with Shaun. If you have a YouTube channel, go follow me. I am trying to increase my subscribers. So next year, my goal is to really take my YouTube serious. And yeah, I got a lot of goals for next year. I think I might do an episode about vision boards. I was really thinking about doing like a vision board party. Wouldn't that be great? I'm thinking about it because every year I always make me a vision board for the next year so I can map out my goals and all of that. I know I'm going off topic, but I think I am going to do an episode about vision boards. And yeah, we can talk about that later. All right. Have a great week. Thank you for listening. And I hope you are healing and really making a difference in your life so you can be a better woman for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your husband, for your boyfriend, for whoever you're with. I hope you are a better person. All right. Bye.